Hey Tony, how you doing today?
Fine, and you, sir?
I'm doing wonderful. Let everyone know what you do.
Well, my name is Tony Morgan. The company's Broadwell Property Group, and we're in a lot of different things. We invest in multifamily. We own and operate multifamily, large footprint multifamily. But one of the things that we're doing today is talking about our hard money lending. We have a division called Broadwell Partners that loans money to flippers, buy and hold investors, people who are in commercial real estate that can't get traditional financing for different types of projects. Banks generally don't like to loan money on rehab projects, construction projects, so people that seek alternative lending for that. So we use private lending for that, and we offer that to investors all over Metro Atlanta and some even outside the state of Georgia.
Now, in the perfect world, what kind of buyers would you look for to lend money to?
Well, usually for us, it's the investor, not necessarily the buyer. So most of our investors fall into one of two categories. They're either flippers, where they're going to buy the house, rehab it, turn around and sell it in 90 to 120 days, maybe as much as a year, depending on how big the rehab is. And then the other camp is what we call our buy and hold guys. So they're going to be people who will buy it, rehab it, put a tenant in it, and then once they get the tenant in it, then they'll refinance us out to go to a more traditional mortgage at a bank where they can get they'll get a very good appraisal usually because they've done all the work on the house. So when I see it, it usually sticks, and I'm still willing to loan money on it, where a bank would never touch that. But by the time they go to the bank, it looks nice, and the bank says, yes, we'll loan you money on that at a low interest rate, and they'll put a more long-term traditional mortgage on it.
All right, now hard money lending, is that the correct terminology for it?
Yeah, hard money lending, absolutely. Just what it really means is that we're loaning money on a hard asset. People ask, what kind of credit score do I have to have? Well, we don't pay that close attention to credit scores. We really don't. What we're more worried about is the asset itself. If you get hit by a bus tomorrow, can I take the asset and make sure I can at least get my money back out of it? That's all. So we're going to look a lot more at the hard asset and less at the borrower. Now, don't get me wrong. On the borrower side, I would much rather see someone who has experience. Maybe they've not done a lot of flips themselves, but they've been involved in them, or maybe they've not done a lot of buying holds themselves, but they've been involved in them. We've had contractors who've been contractors for investors who've come to us and said, "Hey, I've never done one, but I've done them for everybody else. I'm ready to do it for myself." Yeah, we'll talk to you, right? It's a little harder when somebody who's never done one before, because you're not really sure what you're going to find when you get in there most of the time. You want to find somebody who's got a little seasoning. So it's not that we require a certain amount of experience, but we need to have a comfortable feeling that you're not going to get in over your head. So that's going to be probably our biggest thing that we're going to look out for with a newer borrower.
And what would be the first step if I wanted to come to you? What should I have in a row together before I call you?
Well, I mean, you want to have an asset picked out. So you're like 9 times out of 10 when somebody comes to me, they already have it under contract. They know they're going to buy the house. They've already got a contract on it, and they bring me the contract and say, okay, here's what I got. Here's what I'm going to do. Here's the rehab budget. It's going to cost me. I'm going to buy the house for $150,000. I'm making these numbers up. I'm going to buy the house for $150,000. I'm going to spend $50,000 in the rehab, so I'll have $200,000 in it total. But when I'm done, I believe that it'll be worth $300,000. So that's what we base all of our stuff on. Then we'll look at it and we'll say, yes, we agree with you on that. We agree that the value will be that. What we call the ARV, or the after repair value, will be that. And if the after repair value is that, then we have no problem on that money. Then we will go from there. But it's going to be all about the asset itself and the rehab budget that you set up.
And how can someone reach out to you if they need a hard money lender?
The best way to reach me right now is going to be dropping me an email. So just Tony@gobroadwell.com. We have not put up our website yet because we've not been really doing much in the retail space. Most of our borrowers that we've been using for years are all the same borrowers. They come to us through word of mouth. So we haven't been marketing that hard for new borrowers. But that is coming. So best way right now is Tony@gobroadwell.com.
Any closing remarks or final thoughts?
I don't know if you're going to have a chance to take a look at the project behind me, but Henry is probably one of the most talented rehab guys I've ever seen. He not only does these like this one for himself, but he does it for other people as well. He has his own construction crews, and he'll come into somebody else's project and help them. He's a wealth of information as well. It's amazing. And for the record, he's never borrowed a dime from me. So it's not like I'm not trying to sit here and say how great he is because he's a customer. He's not. We've never done any business together. I just have a lot of respect for his work, and I've seen it. So it's an unbiased opinion.
Thanks for doing the interview, Tony.
Absolutely.